Are you scared, chicken?
No way, it's just an old building.
My heart pounded against my ribs, a frantic drum solo in the stillness of the night. The asylum loomed before us, a monstrous shadow against the inky canvas of the night. It was the stuff of local legend, whispering tales of madness and despair. Why did I agree to this?
Let's get this over with.
Even in the dark, I could sense her gaze fixed on the asylum, a mixture of curiosity and apprehension swirling within them.
After you.
Taking a deep breath, I pushed past the gate, its hinges groaning a mournful protest, like a warning from the past. The air inside was thick with the smell of decay and dust, a musty shroud that clung to our throats. Every breath felt like inhaling the past, the remnants of forgotten lives and untold stories. My flashlight beam danced across the peeling paint, revealing faded floral wallpaper, now stained with damp and neglect. The once vibrant colours had long since faded, leaving behind a ghostly reminder of what once was.
This place is creepy. It's like the walls themselves are whispering secrets, secrets that should have remained buried.
Her hand brushed against mine. It was a fleeting touch, but in the oppressive darkness, it felt like a lifeline. Her touch was cold, sending a shiver down my spine. The chill seemed to seep into my bones, amplifying the eerie atmosphere around us. We navigated through a maze of corridors, each turn revealing another glimpse into the asylum's troubled past. The flickering lights cast long, dancing shadows that played tricks on our minds. Restraints lay discarded in a corner, their leather straps cracked and worn, a chilling testament to the horrors they had witnessed. They seemed to whisper tales of pain and suffering, echoing the cries of those who had been confined. A sudden gust of wind slammed a door shut somewhere in the depths of the building, the sound echoing through the silence like a scream. It was as if the building itself was alive, reacting to our presence. I jumped, my heart leaping into my throat. The fear was palpable, a living entity that wrapped itself around us, refusing to let go. Every creak, every whisper of the wind felt like a warning, urging us to leave before it was too late.
Did you hear that?
Just the wind.
His bravado was unconvincing. Even he couldn't hide the tremor in his voice. We pressed on, deeper into the heart of the asylum. As we walked, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. Faint whispers seemed to emanate from the walls, whispers that sent chills crawling down my spine.
This place is messing with my head.
My voice was barely audible above the creaking floorboards. The whispers seemed to grow louder, swirling around us like angry spirits.
I think we should go.
She was right. We'd seen enough. We stumbled upon a room at the end of a hallway, its door slightly ajar. The air was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the creak of the floorboards beneath our feet. Curiosity, that morbid fascination that seems to grip us in the face of fear, drew us in. We hesitated for a moment, exchanging nervous glances, before stepping inside. The room was surprisingly intact, furnished with a dusty bed, a chair, and a writing desk. Cobwebs hung from the corners, and the air smelled of decay and forgotten memories. A faded photograph lay on the desk, its edges curled with age. It seemed out of place, as if it had been left there deliberately, waiting for someone to find it. It depicted a young woman with haunted eyes, her face framed by long dark hair. Her gaze seemed to follow us, filled with a story untold. She wore a patient gown, and her expression was a mixture of sadness and defiance. It was as if she was challenging the world, even in her apparent vulnerability.
She's beautiful. There's something hauntingly captivating about her.
Her fingers traced the outline of the woman in the photograph, almost as if trying to connect with her across time. Who was she? What had she endured within these walls? The questions swirled in our minds, unanswered and haunting. As I reached out to touch the photograph, a cold breeze swept through the room, stirring the dust motes into a swirling vortex. It felt as if the room itself was alive, reacting to our presence. The photograph fluttered to the floor, landing face down. We stood there, frozen, as if the very act of picking it up would unravel the mysteries it held.
Section 6. The Screams. And then we heard it. A blood-curdling scream filled with raw terror and agony. It echoed through the asylum, bouncing off the walls, seeming to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "We have to get out of here!" screamed Maya, her voice high with panic. She was right. We were trapped. We scrambled back, away from the shadowy figure and the blood-curdling screams. Panic lent us a burst of speed and we fled blindly through the asylum, our footsteps echoing in the darkness. The screams followed us, relentless, echoing our terror. They seemed to be getting closer. Section 7. The Discovery. We burst out of the asylum into the cool night air, our lungs burning, our hearts pounding against our ribs. The eerie silence of the night was only broken by our frantic footsteps and the distant hoot of an owl. The asylum loomed behind us, its dark windows like eyes watching our every move. We didn't stop running until we reached the relative safety of the road. The streetlights flickered, casting long shadows that seemed to dance and twist in the periphery of our vision. We huddled together, trying to catch our breath, our eyes darting back to the asylum. "What was that?" gasped Maya, her chest heaving. Her voice was barely above a whisper, but it echoed in the stillness of the night. She was pale, her eyes wide with terror. The moonlight highlighted the fear etched on her face, making her look almost ghostly. "I don't know," I whispered, my voice trembling. The words felt heavy, laden with the weight of the unknown. We had all seen it, but none of us could comprehend what it was. But a horrifying thought was beginning to take shape in my mind. What if it wasn't just a trick of the light? What if we had truly seen something otherworldly? The car screeched to a halt beside us, its headlights illuminating the asylum gates. The sudden brightness was both a relief and a reminder of the darkness we had just escaped. And that's when we saw it. Our collective gasp filled the air as we stared in disbelief. A figure standing at the top floor window, its silhouette framed against the moonlight. It was motionless, yet its presence was overwhelmingly menacing. It was the same figure we had seen in the photograph. The realization sent a shiver down my spine. We weren't just imagining things. The figure was real, and it was watching us. Section 8. The Escape. The driver of the car, an older man with kind eyes, ushered us inside. He didn't ask questions, just drove us back to town, his silence speaking volumes. We never spoke about that night again. The memory of the asylum, the screams, the shadowy figure, and the woman in the photograph remained buried deep within us, a shared nightmare that we never dared to revisit. Life went on, but the experience left an indelible mark on each of us. We carried the fear, the unease, and the haunting image of the woman in the photograph with us, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks in the shadows. Section 9. The Return. Years later, I found myself drawn back to the town. The asylum still stood, a decaying monument to its troubled past. I couldn't explain the pull I felt, the need to confront the ghosts that still haunted me. As I stood before the rusted gates, a cold breeze whispered through the overgrown grounds. It carried the faintest of sounds, A whisper that seemed to come from within the asylum's crumbling walls. It sounded like a name. The woman's name from the photograph. And in that moment I knew, some stories never truly end. They just wait to be told again.